Hi Donny, Dave here. We're away for another weekend on the bikes, this time on the road bikes, and I'm out with Triathlon Paul on his CBR600R. I'm on the Triumph Tiger 800, and we've just met up at Scotch Corner services on the A1, ridden through to Anik Castle to get some fuel, and we're now in a place called Middleton in Teesdale. And we're outside a really nice fish and chip shop which I've been to before, which serves really nice fish and chips. So we've just ordered some of those, have a bit of lunch, and then we're going to head to Northumberland. We've kind of booked a campsite there, but it's not being confirmed, so we're hoping that they'll let us on. If not, we'll have to look for plan B. But we're going to head through the North Pennines area, one of my favourite areas, an area of outstanding natural beauty. So there's some great roads up there, so hopefully we'll enjoy the ride.
Because I'm on my road bike today, I'm wearing my road helmet, which doesn't have a chin mount, so I'm recording this footage on my Insta360 camera mounted on the handlebars. I have figured out that I can connect the camera to my Cardo headset to record voice, but when the headset is connected, the camera microphone is disconnected, so there's no sound from the bike or any external sound when I'm recording voice. So it seems to be that it's got to be one thing or the other, which is not ideal really, but that's the way it is with this camera. Here I'm just experimenting with the camera mounted to the invisible selfie stick, which is fastened to the pannier frames, just to try and get a different camera angle and a couple of overtakes in with Paul. Side shot of Paul's CBR600R with his new luggage setup on, looking pretty good. We're just coming into a place called Blanch Land, and there's a nice place where we usually call for coffee when we're out this way, called the Lord Crew Arms. This is the bar with a vaulted ceiling, which is pretty cool.
So we're just leaving the Lord Crew Arms, which is a really nice place. As I said earlier, we just had a coffee there. Unfortunately, there's no phone signal, so we can't check our campsite, so we're still unsure as to whether or not we have a reservation, but we're going to go and try it anyway. Nice twisty little road down to this bridge. That's beautiful, that. Not a huge amount of time to look over the bridge though. Just coming into Hexham now. Just been following a route which is my regular, fairly regular route up to Sea Houses, which I've plotted on Beeline, and it's the Beeline foot route. And we've just decided to take Paul's Moto mountain route, which is just turned off from where my route goes, just for a change. And it's brought us out onto some nice little country roads, so we'll see how we go. We're back on the original route now, because I recognise this road, and this road goes past Cragside, which I think is now owned by the National Trust. So this is Cragside on the right, but actually just past, that's the entrance to it, but just past the house itself. We didn't actually come through Rothbury, the alternate route, just skirted Rothbury and joined onto the original route, just between Rothbury and Cragside. This is a really high vantage point from here. You can see for miles. Now just coming into Anik, and Anik Castle is one of the locations where they filmed some of the Harry Potter stuff, so it's pretty popular, I think, with tourists. Certainly the castle is. We're just coming into Beadnell now, and Beadnell is where we're staying. The campsite is the Camping and Caravan Club site at Beadnell Bay, which is really between Beadnell and Sea Houses. So let's hope we can get in there, because they did say they were full, but because we were just bikes with small tents, if we rocked up, they'd probably find space for us. Hope that's the case, because we want to be within walking distance of the pub as usual, so we don't need to take the bikes out. So the sea's on the right and the site's on the left. You couldn't get much closer to the sea really, a couple of 100 yards, that's about it. And then I think it's about a mile and a half walk into Sea House.
Sat in the Blanch Castle pub, overlooking Farne Islands and Blanch Castle itself. There you go. Drinking cider. Have to do the obligatory picture of the pipes.
Oh god, yeah. Well done.
We ended up stopping in till closing time and had a few beers, and then when we were walking back, because there's very little light pollution and a full moon, it was quite spectacular.
Saturday morning, and we left the campsite and went into Beadnell, and we went to a nice little place called the Courtyard. Had a full English breakfast in there. It was quite nice because you could park the bikes in the courtyard itself, keep an eye on them, and then we fueled up and hit the road. We're going to take a different route back. Paul's navigating this one on his new Moto app, so he's put an alternative route in. We're just going to see how that pans out and then join up with we did come in here a bit later on. This is a nice little route actually. There's a few nice little villages and it's quite nice twisty roads. All we did really in terms of route planning was look for a green bit on the map with a wiggly line running through it and saying that looks alright. So that was the extent of the route planning. But so far so good.
I do love these tree-lined roads that give a dappled light effect on the road. Really nice.
I have made a bit of a schoolboy error this weekend with the clothing. I decided not to bring a jacket because the forecast at home was something like 22 degrees and sunny for the full 2 days. And I kind of assumed it would be the same up here. So I just brought me Knox Urbane shirt, armoured shirt, which is like a mesh jacket really, which was great in France because the air just blows through it and it's quite cool. And I thought I'll be fine with that and a base layer. Anyway, when we got up here, it's a good 5 degrees cooler, 5-6 degrees cooler. And it's been pretty windy and threatening rain, although it's not actually rained. And the wind was just blowing straight through my jacket and I was quite cool yesterday. So I've ended up riding with my waterproof on all the time really, just because of the wind and the cold. Just goes to show you just can't take the weather for granted. And it's great thinking, I won't take a jacket because it just uses up so much space. But sometimes you just gotta, as a minimum, take a jacket with you. Some great views down the valley from here. Not exactly sure where we are, but we're sort of heading towards Rothbury, which we came through on the way here. We're up near Otterburn, which I think is a military area. Serious crosswinds up there. Wow. Yeah, we're only 10 miles from Keelder Forest up here, and Keelder used to be a great place for car rallying back in the 80s. I think it's more associated with sort of mountain biking and outdoor activities these days. like to get back to these days. Yeah, the Moto Wiggly route is certainly delivered on some of these high roads. Really nice roads, fantastic views. Traffic around to say it's a weekend as well. Just had a problem with the bike. We pulled up just to discuss maps and which way we were going to go when we head back to Hexham, and my bike wouldn't start. It was definitely electrical. It was as though it had a flat battery. I've been charging my camera and my power bank off the bike, but obviously the bike was running, and it did try and turn over, then it was totally dead, and I've turned the ignition on and off, knocked it in and out of gear, pulled the clutch in and out, knocked the cut-off switch on and off, all those sort of things. Tried several times and couldn't get it to start. I was on a hill, so I was just about to turn it round and try and bump it off down the hill. Gave it one last try, fired up first time. I don't know if it's a wiring issue on the ignition or the cut-off or whatever. So we're back underway now, but I'm obviously a bit concerned that next time I stop, which might be in Hexham or somewhere, whether it'll start again. And my plan was to continue this trip on my own for another night because Paul's got to get back because of family commitments tomorrow. So he's got to get back today. I don't have to get back, so I was going to spend another night in the Dales on the way back. I was going to ride back with him to Barnard Castle or somewhere, and then I was just going to see if I could find a campsite so I can have a little ride round in the Dales and go home Sunday. That's starting to cast doubt on that. I suppose I'll see what happens next time I stop the bike. If it starts, I'll put it down to a maybe one off due to heat or something. If it doesn't, well, we'll have to see what to do then. We didn't actually go through Hexham on this route, we've skirted that and just passed a place called Langley Castle. That looks really nice. Didn't get the opportunity to film it though, we were sort of on top of it by the time the sign, but it did look nice. Not a ruined castle, it was doing meals and stuff like that, so I don't know if it's a hotel or restaurant, maybe wedding venue type thing. This wind is still absolutely gusting though. Still lovely roads. A little village called Allendale, and we're just heading towards Allen Heads now. I think I've been through Allen Heads before. I think the coast to coast cycle path runs through there. Seems to ring a bell. It's certainly an area I've been in. And we are sort of keeping an eye open for somewhere to stop for something to eat now. A Hemel coffee stop. Looks nice. Just hope the bike starts afterwards. That's a decent lunch stop we've just had in Heads. Nice little cafe. Just had a toasty coffee. Heading back out on the road now, heading for Stanhope and then Barnard Castle, and then where to camp and get out that way. Maybe this landscape looks like it's been burnt down or something. Weird. Strange. It's a nice road, and we've only taken this as a diversion to a road that's been closed because of a fallen tree. Presumably because of the high winds, that road was closed, and we didn't fancy the official diversion because it looked to be a long way round. And the this road looks like it gets us in the right direction. So a bit of a find, nice one. That tower looks like it might be from mining. I think there was quite a lot of lead mining in this area. It certainly was around Alston, but not too far. That looks like an abandoned mine of some sort. At least my bike started first time after the lunch break. Once, so I don't know what that starting issue. I think I've had it before. I think I had it once in France. Start. It didn't take as long to start as that. I just quickly went through the switches, but sensors, and it started. So it'll be in the back of my mind now that it might be an issue. We're working again for now. We're actually on the same roads now as we were when we came through this way. It's nice to vary the route, but often even if you're going back on the same route in a different direction, everything looks completely different. Fantastic road. It's the road from the A66 coming back from Barnard Castle. It's Reeth. You can just see the empty road ahead, and it's just a beautiful road. The only thing is there's a lot of sheep around. It's still really windy as well today.
We're heading into Reeth now, where I think I've got a campsite. I found a site on one of the camping apps, but I had to email the guy. Couldn't wait for a reply, so I thought I'd just turn up. Orchard Head Caravan Park, run by a guy called Ian, and he charged me £10 for the bike and the tent.
Well, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just getting out the tent, put a coffee on, etc. All the serious walkers and campers are already up and off this morning. This campsite's on the coast to coast walk, so it's pretty popular. And so all the other tents that were here, there are only about 3 of them, they were all walkers. but like I say, they're pretty serious. Up and off. Just hope I didn't disturb them too much with my snoring, because I was out last night, a few pints in the pub. And this is the view over the wall at the back of the site. I could hear the river running all night, which is great when you've had a few pints. Quite nice actually. Yeah, that's great. There's a few little tables and chairs here and a couple of little washing lines and useful bits and pieces. It's a nice setup.
Okay, so just leaving Orchard Farm Caravan Park. The backpackers are up and off. Pretty serious dudes, those backpackers. Wouldn't like to be carrying all the gear, even what I'm carrying. Right, let's get back on the road. So I'm heading home today, but I think I'll have a little ride round. I'm in the Dales, why not? You can almost tell when you get to Tan Hill because the road's just lined with camper vans. They do have a few bands and stuff like that on here, so it's quite a popular place. And there's always people here, no matter what time of year you come. But this is it, the Tan Hill Inn.
I'm sat outside the Copper Kettle in Reeth, just had a nice breakfast there, and I think I'm going to end my ride here and head home. It's been a great weekend, really enjoyed riding with Paul and having a ride round on my own today, but I'm going to head back, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, cheers.